Today, I'm going to take you through how to paint M42 and M43 uniforms on your 20mm. This also works for 15mm and 28mm models, US Airborne figures. Now these figures are from AB Figures and I'll show you all about them in just a minute. But I do want to take a moment just to say, if you haven't been keeping up with the latest news, I've been releasing some of my videos a week early for those YouTube channel and Patreon members. So if you want to join their ranks, you can join for as little as $1 a month and you'll get access to some cool perks depending on which tier you select, and all of that revenue comes straight back into the channel to help videos like this one. But enough of all of that, let's get straight into this US Airborne 20mm comprehensive painting guide for both M42 and M43 uniforms. Now, if you would like to grab your set some of these beautiful US Airborne figures, you can find them at AB Figures under United States. Go to Infantry, do yourself a favour and select 75 as the option of viewing the miniatures, just so you can see all of them in their glory, because you might decide to pick up some GIs whilst you're at it too, opposed to just the Airborne figures. But if you scroll down right to the bottom, you can see there's some painted examples there, and the price is so good. It's so cheap for some of these miniatures, it's just unbelievable. And Tony does a great job of painting them too. Now with your new US Airborne figures, once you've given them a good clean, you can go with Tamiya Surface Primer Light to Grey to prime your figure, and then we're going to focus on the M42, so the more of the khaki looking uniforms first, and we're going to be painting that in US Field Drab. Now, you know, if you're familiar with painting, at least US Field Drab is more of a brown colour, like a light brown khaki kind of colour, sort of an in-between. So we're going to use a little mixture later on in the video just to bring that khaki look to it back and give it that really authentic M42 colour. Now for the M43 uniform, we're going to be using US Olive Drab. So this is a complete comprehensive tutorial, as I said, for US Airborne figures. We're going to give them both the M42 and the M43. So this particular guy with his BAR is going to be painted up for the likes of Market Garden and Varsity, and the M42 is obviously for Normandy. Now I do believe some of them still have their M42s for Market Garden and such, but I'm going to go just Market Garden exclusive as those M43 uniforms. Then the webbing, I'm going to go with khaki, so you can see why now I decided to go with that US Field Drab for the uniform of the M42, because if I also painted that in more of a khaki colour, then the two are just going to blend too much and the webbing's just not going to stick out as much as I wanted to. And then for the metal areas, I'm going to use black grey. Now if you're familiar with the channel, then you would know that this is just a technique that I'm always using, so you can fast forward on to the parts of the uniform that you're interested in. But if you're new to the channel, then black grey is what I go for. I'm not going for a silver or anything like that. It's a little bit too unrealistic. Let's just go with a nice dark grey colour for now, and we can lighten that up later on. Now for the bayonet holster or scabbard, I believe the correct term might be for that one. I'm not exactly sure, let me know in below. I'm going to use German camo black brown for that one, so it's a very dark colour from the reference photos I've seen online. So I'm just going to give that one. He's got one on his boot as well as one dangling off his webbing too. Now for any wooden areas, so if you had an M1 Garand, or in this case his bar, I'm going to use flat earth for those wooden areas, as well as on the handles of the bayonet. Now for his boots, I'm going to use saddle brown. This is also very good for their chin straps, so if you want to be painting those in this sort of reddish leather look, then that's great too. You could also paint them in their webbing in the khaki colour if that's what you would rather do. Now for the bits of scrim on the helmet, I'm going to go ahead and hit that with old wood. And you can see that I try to avoid painting them if I can help it, but sometimes you can't, as you can see here, and you just paint over the initial colour that you used for the helmet, which was US dark green. You can see that I'm just painting the tip of the water bottle in that black grey too, that was used for the gun. Then I'm going to give my miniature a wash of Nor Oil and Technical Medium at about a 1:1 ratio. You can give it a little bit more of the Nor Oil, so that black wash in the mixture. So So it's a little bit more like 2:1 if you want to. We just want to thin that black wash down just so it's not too sharp and too black. Now with that done, we can go ahead and give it a layer. So we're using that US field drab again because we're back onto the M42 uniform, and you can see that I'm giving it a layer. So I'm pretty much painting the whole miniature again, but I'm leaving the original base color that's been washed in those dark recesses. And you can see this is a perfect example now. Hopefully the camera angle is working well for you, what I'm talking about. And I'm slowly scratching in the detail just to ensure that I have control of the amount of paint that I'm putting on the miniature. It's really, really important you have that control because you don't want to make a mistake. Now for the highlight, I'm going to use US field drab and Iraqi sand at a 1:1 ratio, and you can see that nice sort of blend of US field drab and that Iraqi sand makes a really nice highlight color and gives it more of that khaki look to it, but it's just a little bit brighter than khaki. Now it's all just about picking out those raised edges and making this uniform really stand out on the tabletop. You can just see already those pockets just look so good. These AB figures are just absolutely phenomenal. If you haven't got yourself a set and you're maybe painting different scales, just grab yourself a platoon or just a little pack. You will not be disappointed and you'll be coming back for lots more, I can assure you of that. That's how I was hooked originally. Now for the bits of reinforced padding on his clothing, I'm going to use US dark green. I obviously washed it and then I'm going to go over it again in US dark green. I also painted the helmet in that colour as well, but I'm not going over the helmet in that. Then to highlight that, I'm going to use US dark green and German camo beige at a 2:1 ratio. So this would be the same if he didn't have a helmet cover on or netting, but obviously he does. So we've got those reinforced pads on that M42 uniform painted, so his uniform's painted. So now we can move on to the M43 uniform, and that's that US olive drab. And we're going ahead and doing exactly the same thing as what we did before on the M42 one. So this is that first layer that we're painting, and you can see this colour is a little bit darker. It doesn't stand out as much as that US field drab did, but that's okay. We're going to bring this colour up a touch, make it stand out a bit more for that tabletop and make your miniatures really pop. So to get that uniform to pop, we're going to use US olive drab and German camo beige at a 2:1 ratio. You don't want to go 1:1, that's just a bit too unrealistic and a bit too much of that beige colour in there. And now it's all about highlighting. This is the final stage for this uniform. We're just highlighting, and as you can see, this guy doesn't have any padding. I don't believe they had added any additional padding to the M43. That was purely like an M42 thing. And I don't believe there was any sort of standard to it. They just cut off excess bits of cloth and put it where they wanted it. Elbow pads, knee pads. So you can mix it up. You can give some none, give some just elbow pads, and give some all four if you really wanted to. Now you can see we're moving on to the webbing. You can see how that webbing is blending in with the uniform. Now that's a problem for wargaming and scale models. We want to make sure that the uniform and the webbing don't blend together and it just looks like a big mess. So I'm painting the layer. You can see I'm paying a lot of attention to the bag. The bag really pops and stands out. That's what the eye's drawn to, so I'm focusing most of my attention on the bag. But I'm using that khaki to start off with my first layer, and I'm just giving this bag all the detail it needs to pop. And then once I've done that, now I can highlight it with khaki and stone grey at a 1:1 ratio. Now this is just picking out those raised edges and taking your time again, just to make this bag stand out. See, I've got a nice little line on the top there. There's a few little grooves in the bag that I can pop out, and the great thing about highlights is you can actually sort of show where a bag's got some stuff in and where it doesn't. It's such a good tool in our painting inventories to make models really look at just a little bit more realistic. So once that's done, the uniforms are done, hooray! Now it's the easy part. So we're using black grey to go over the metal, and you can see that this bar has lots of little bits of details that I need to try and capture. The magazine and the top of the bar and such. And let me ask you, do you call it a bar or do you call it a BAR? Obviously BAR stands for Browning Automatic Rifle. Just interested to know, do you call it a BAR or just a bar? Let me know below. So black grey and basalt grey is our final highlight. and we're going ahead and just adding all the details. So the magazine has like 3 little lines and grooves in it. You can capture those. The top of that bar, you can see this bar, or BAR, is really coming to life. You can go one step further if you want to, and you can go with just a basalt grey after this as a highlight. So, but I'm trying to keep the amount of paints and the amount of steps a bit more reduced, just so it's not a bit too crazy for you guys. So then for the wood, I'm using flat earth. Now, painting wood on these miniatures is a little bit more difficult for me to show because there's very little of it on the ones I've selected as my ones to paint on the series. And I'm also painting the bayonet there. And then it's flat earth and orange brown at a 1:1 ratio. So yeah, but you get the gist anyway. And I'm literally scratching in the details. I'm not giving it any sort of formal layer or highlight. I'm just adding in little scratch lines, and there we go, onto that bayonet again, just to show like wood grains and such. It works. It's the lazy way of painting wood, but it works. And then orange brown for a very final highlight. So you can see that I've gone 2 layers and a highlight for the wood, just to make it stand out a little bit more. And that orange brown is really bright and makes the highlight really nice. And then for those boots and helmet straps, if you're doing it, you can use saddle brown. Lots and lots of details in these jump boots, guys, so make sure you spend time to capture them if you can do. And then saddle brown and German camo beige, well, we'll do it a 1:1 ratio. Don't go too mental though, even though I do say pay a little bit of attention to them. The reason I'm saying that is because if you're like me, you're going to end up dry brushing the bottom of them anyway with the texture for the ground that you're going to be using. And you can see that I'm just capturing that helmet strap there. Now for the helmet, I use German camo beige because they both got helmet nets on. So I've got my dry brush and I'm just dry brushing the top of his helmet, just to make that netting stand out a lot more. Takes a little bit of practice, you'll get there, and just make sure you don't have a lot of paint on there. You don't want to go pop, start dry brushing, you go, oh, I've just painted his helmet in this colour. So yeah, make sure it's a dry brush. Now we can go over the bits of the scrim, and we're going to use old wood for that one. And you can see that this guy's got lots of it on there that I need to capture. You don't have to paint every single bit exactly. You can break it up. So what I mean by that is adding in little dots in between and stuff, just to make it look a bit more unorganized, a bit all over the place, which is obviously what scrim would be like. And then to highlight that, I'm going to use old wood and Iraqi sand at a 1:1 ratio. I'm just adding little bits here and a little bit there, just to make that stand out. You can see I'm adding a few little lines, few little dots. Just break it all up like the scrim would be in real life. Just give it all different little bits of highlights. Now with that done, you can take it one step further if you really want this scrim to pop, and you can paint it in Iraqi sand. I know some people say to me, oh, why don't you paint some of it green? You know, picture a bridge too far when the British Airborne are walking through Arnhem, where they've got their green leaves on their helmet. I think the scrim just looks better this way, especially for wargaming miniatures. It stands out, it really does stand out. So yeah, I prefer to do it this way and not paint the green. The green just blends with the helmet too much for my liking. So we're going back over that bayonet sheath. I think I've called it a scabbard already, but I'm pretty sure it's a sheath now I'm thinking about it. I could be completely wrong, let me know below. But I'm going back over it. You can see he's got one on his webbing, and there's another one attached to his jump boots. But then to highlight that, I'm using German camo black, brown and orange brown at a 1:1 ratio. And there's just a few little lines here and there. And then your model is pretty much done, minus the flesh, which I've already got a tutorial on. So you can check that out if you'd like to. So then there we go. So here we've got our M42 uniform with padded elbows and his grease gun. I love that sculpt. And then we've got our M43 uniform with webbing, helmet scrim, and he's got his BAR as well. So there we have it, guys. We have got an M42 and M43 painting tutorial with our 20mm AB figures all done. And they are lovely, lovely figures to paint. It's an absolute joy when you're painting figures and you're just in awe of how well they've been sculpted. So huge credit goes out to Tony and the team at AB Figures for creating such just amazing sculpts. Let me know below as well, guys, if you're going to end up getting some of these AB figures. If you haven't got any, I can't stress it enough. They are just amazing, and you will really love grabbing yourself some if you're a World War II history buff and wargaming or scale modelling. They just work great for both. Huge thank you goes out to Nick at Eureka Miniatures for supplying these miniatures, as well as my Patrons and YouTube channel members. You guys are just absolutely awesome. Huge mention also goes out to my Panzer Aces. That's Patrick, Oscar, James, Panzer Jim and Colin. You guys are bloody legends. I really do appreciate the extra additional support you're giving me. I'm going to leave it here, guys. Be sure to let me know what 20mm models you would like to see painted next time. Until then, I'll leave it here and I'll catch you at the next one.